A WWE star turns heel on SmackDown. Plus, WWE reveals some new signings. And the Wrestle Dream main event was going to be far more violent. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Well, they've done the right thing, Fraser Porter. I will say that from the off.
Yeah, they did the right thing. The booking has been pretty good for this last night on SmackDown. Because before we say the names, neither of them work as a face, do they?
Nope, neither do. So one or both. We didn't get both, so we're going to get one. Last night, Jade Cargill came to the aid of Tiffany Stratton, and they celebrated seeing off the baddies, only for an attack to take place. Now, at this point, if you don't know who's turned heel, it could be either.
It could be either, but of course, it's the one that most naturally fits as a heel out of the two of them. Again, we're talking about both of them.
Either.
It's Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill turned heel last night. I thought it was a very well done turn. I thought the way that it was set up, I don't think people really expected it at that point. If you're going to have a turn, you could have had it take place next weekend at Saturday night's main event, where we're going to get a match between them. But I thought last night, setting it up here, you get at least a SmackDown and then next week's show to have Jade Cargill really establish herself as a heel. And she did that last night pretty well. The attack straight away, just clotheslining Tiffany, then beating up all around the ring.
Proper shoe-in. Security had to step in the end to stop the fight, and then Jade Cargill got into the ring and she admired the women's title belt of WWE, which is, as we know, Fraser Porter, and we've said this before, that's the death knell for a title reign. You don't hold the belt until you've won the belt.
Or especially not the night before, but this is a week before. So maybe this is the sign that she's going to win it, because she stood over the champion a week and 1 day before the show, not the night before the show. Maybe.
You know what? That's a very, very, very good shout.
Do you see Jade winning it?
See, this is the thing. If she, even with having touched the belt, I still say yes.
Yeah, it feels like she has to. She has to at this point. Like, realistically, Jade, her run in WWE is now 2 years in, and she's been successful for sure. She's a former tag team champion. She's appeared at WrestleMania, but at the same time, it feels like she was going to be given that women's world title or the WWE women's title, and then injuries got in the way or other things. They were like, let's do a different storyline. Oh, Tiffany's got over really well with the crowd. Let's go with her for this run. It feels like we're getting to the time where she needs that belt, and it makes the most sense as you go into the Rumble season and you go into WrestleMania season, and Bianca Belair has been off screen for a very, very long time, and the most natural match that I can think of between the two, building on storylines from the past, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's title.
And Jade as a heel, Jade as a diddler. Never was there a woman in wrestling more born to diddle.
That's true. Get that on a t-shirt. WWE, if you're listening right now, get that on a t-shirt. Like, which word goes on the back? To diddle?
Born, I think born, number 2,
born
diddle.
To diddle. Born to diddle.
I'm Jade Cargill, and I'm born to diddle.
Born to diddle.
I think that's fine. I think Jade's legal team will be fine with us saying that. Yeah. Speaking of, from the birth of a heel in WWE to the birth of some new talent. This is something that is a couple of these names have been talked about for a while, thanks to Corey Brennan of Fightful.
Yeah.
They've been confirmed last night, some new faces at NXT.
A couple of the names we reported on ourselves.
Yes,
we did.
We did.
So last night it was announced online by NXT that Jamie Garcia, most notably known as the Zaya, has signed with WWE. Mike DeRudder, also known as Mike D. Dusan Nokovic, an MMA fighter from Serbia. Cyril Coquerel. Igel Blanc. People, an incredible wrestler in the European scene right now. And Nathan Cranton, aka Nathan Angel, have all signed with WWE and are joining the Performance Center. A lot of these names, it's like well overdue that they should be there. It's specifically Zoya, Mike D, and Igel Blanc. Yeah,
we said all three of those up close at North, haven't we?
We have. We've worked with them, so we actually do have experience of working with them. Fantastic people, phenomenal talents that really could instantly shoot up in NXT and be the next sort of like top level of talent that are there, because we need some call-ups soon. Like the main roster needs some people from NXT, and this is the next batch that are going to fill those gaps. My big question though is, will Aigle Blanc have his mask on?
Well, this is it, because in the photo that WWE shared, we see an unmasked Aigle Blanc. We now see what the Wise Eagle looks like. And I kind of liked him with the mask and that whole presentation. I'd be sad if we ended up having something different. But then, as you said, we've seen a lot of people who've come in and their indie gimmicks have been ripped away and they've been replaced with something more intriguing. You know, we had A-Kid, who we really loved, who became Axiom apparently, and that's something that's been ever so successful for him. But I like Aigle Blanc. It depends on what WWE want to market, whether or not they think people will struggle to pronounce Aigle Blanc. I know I did as a ring announcer.
Possibly. I just worry that they'll go, right, Eagle, we'll keep the Eagle theme, shave the hair. You're now the Bald Eagle.
Oh.
Bald Eagle.
No.
I really hope they don't
with
do
El
that.
Grande Americano.
Yeah, exactly. The Bald Eagle and El Grande Americano. That's the new luchadors on the scene. I'm very excited to see what all these guys do. Zazaya as well. We didn't mention him particularly long there, but he's like instantly shot up in the UK scene. Like it came out of nowhere. He was sort of a name that people talked about, and then it was like, oh, he's everywhere, and he's doing incredible things. So keep an eye out of them. If you want to watch any of their stuff, check out North, check out Rev Pro, check out Progress. They've all been in there and mixed it up with some of the best.
I think Duza Novakovic is is an unknown to the scene, at least in wrestling. I think his look, I'm intrigued to see what he does. Very much so. I did work with Nathan Angel at World of Sport, and he was brilliant there in the time that we've recorded World of Sport. He had a tryout and he's been signed. I think we're going to get GTA 6 before World of Sport. Nathan Angel's brilliant.
Do you think if World of Sport airs now, they'll advertise it as WWE Superstar?
Yeah, because they can then also have AEW star Alex Windsor on there as well.
Exactly. So it's the perfect thing that's happened. Now they can air World of Sport. That's really what they've been waiting for. Wait till you get signed, and then they'll be starring TNA's Tom Campbell.
Oh, it will truly become the crossroads of wrestling. All the best to all of those guys. You're going to smash it. What a happy time. Wrestle Dream was just t'other weekend. We saw a very violent main event that took place between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, and according to the Wrestling Observer, it was going to be far more violent, Fraser Porter.
Yes, it didn't go far enough. They wanted it to go really much further than what they saw. So the report says the match wasn't what was planned. The Missouri State Athletic Commission would not allow blading or brawling in the crowd. They did allow them to work with broken glass in the ring and allowed them to use skewers. Just a side note, you can't blade, but you can stick a skewer under someone's fingernail. Just saying. They used a blood capsule early on for Darby Allin to be bleeding from the mouth, but it dried up pretty quickly, as we could see on screen. It was there, and it looked like fake blood. Like it was very clear it was fake blood. There were ideas and things that were scrapped from the match, which did include a crazy spot where Castagnoli pressed Allin and looked like we saw the spot where he threw him over the ropes onto the announce table. That's probably the craziest they got with coming close to the crowd, I think, from memory. I personally loved the match, and I do kind of wish we'd seen what the true vision of it would have been, and how extreme we could have got, because we know when AEW does like a death match or a Texas death match or anything that's particularly bloody and violent, they don't hold back, and it's particularly enjoyable for the sickos. I would say I'm one of them.
You're one of the sickos. Yeah. You are a monster. Yeah, I wondered whether they put the match on. I think I was intrigued as to why they put the match on last to start with, and I think obviously because of the use of water and broken glass, the rest of the roster going, I ain't wrestling in that. But also, there's part of me that thought, what if this is a match that's so violent that there's a chance that the Athletic State Commission might shut them down? So therefore, let's put it on last. So the State Athletic Commission. That they put it on last. So in the event that it does get shut down, at least all the other matches have happened.
Possibly. Maybe. I mean, they're always running the risk, and I think it's a bit daft when you've got them like a state athletic commission in wrestling. It doesn't really make too much sense when you think of it. I mean, personally, I always think of wrestling as a form of theatre. It is athletic, but it's also like, it should be viewed as a theatrical production rather than a sporting production, and be like, oh, well, there's confines of what you've got to do because it's a sport, but also it's a performance. So like things that if they've gone, we want to do all this in a match, they should be allowed to do that to an extent and not have to be like, right, are we going to lose our license to perform in this state? Like, it's a statewide thing. It's like if they breach those rules, that's you can't perform in Missouri again.
That's it. You don't want to shut that door completely, do you? So there was no blood in Missouri, but there was blood in the boardroom for WWE. Have non-compete clauses in contracts gone too far, Fraser Porter?
Possibly. I think they just might have, because a year is a bloody long time.
It is a very long time.
Very long time.
We'll talk about it on the new episode of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. Another scrubby, girthy podcast. Waiting for you. What a great podcast.
Do you like a lot of wrestling on your YouTube?
I do indeed.
You do
and
like
that is why you should join our cult. It's a wild one this week. Some say too much, I say not enough. It's on the podcast feed.
Sesh was away, so you've got Tom this week.
Oh, it was carnage. Absolute carnage. It's on the podcast feed right now. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.